Hey everybody, welcome back to this new episode for the Python object-oriented programming, and today we are going to focus on the class inheritance. So in a nutshell, or in a simple way to say it, class inheritance is getting a free code from a parent class. In this example, we do have the class book that we worked on in the previous tutorial. So there is a lot of method and a constructor that we have built together, and we are going to pass all this free code for free to another classes. And why we need this class inheritance is when there is a need of topic diversity, which means like we do have here the class book, but book can be a very general term. So from book perspective, there's essays, there is thesis, there is magazines. Each one of them have are connected to be considered a book, but they have a different interpretation or a different meaning. And also, at the same time, we would like to limit the code bulkiness. So what we're saying by this is we don't want to put all the code in one class. That would become a very difficult to manage, very difficult to handle class. So we will diversify a little bit on subclasses. And this is what we are going to see together today. So let's start by creating a subclass. And to create a subclass is quite easy and straightforward. It starts with a class. And after that, let's create a kind of subclass or subtype of a book. We call it an essay. And to inherit, we add a parenthesis and we just add the book here. And we just make a pass. That will be our first subclass. After that, let's create another subclass, which will be, we call it a thesis class. So can be considered as a book, depending on the person. And then also will inherit the book itself. And we are going to make a pass. So now let's initialize some object from those subclasses. So let's take the essay. So we put ESS_1, and this one it will be equal to essay. So as soon as we create the essay and we open the parentheses, we see that VS Code is already helping us and saying how the constructor is made, and this is exactly the constructor of the book class. So we do have the title, the author, the description, and the page count. So let's quickly write something here. So let's say a tale of Will as the name of the book, and then for the author it would be, so this is should be a list as we considered at the beginning. So this one, let's say someone, we don't know who. And after that, for the description, we call a nice story. And finally, the page count in essay would have around 213 pages, but it depends where you are. And after that, for the thesis, let's create one instance or an object. Let's call equal here, and we put it thesis. So that's generated. And again, VS1 is showing us that the constructor is exactly the same. So for the thesis, how to count, maybe it will change. And then it is written, let's say the wheel this time. And after that, for the description is maybe we count in the wrong way. I'm sure if it's in good English or not. And there is 50 pages explaining that we are not counting in the right way. So if we do a print for the essay and also a print for the thesis objects and save. So let's save this, go to the top here, go to the console, run Python, and then 008 run. So we do have a title of Will by someone and how to count by Will. This one, I think it's a tile. No, not a tile. It's a strange name. Let's say a tale of Will. Okay. So we do have this one now generated. But if you would like to take a look and to understand the inheritance, there is a very helpful function to understand from where the object is getting all the attributes and also the methods. So you can do a print and do help and then the name of the object. So let's put the essay1. So let's clear here and make it a little bit bigger to see better what will be the result. So we can see here method resolution order. So this is coming from essay and then book and then built-in object. And this is where comes all the special methods. And you can go a little by pushing enter, and you can see how this is written. So you see the constructor here, how it's working, and here this str, which does return what kind of a special function are generated, and you can see all the classes and all how the method are built here. So you can see the static method, the description. So it's quite an interesting function to see how this object is inheriting from the essay, and after that from the book, and then at the end it inherits from the built-in object itself. Okay, so that was the initial part to see, but now let's leave this one. So to leave this one, you just click on the Q letter, so you can leave this list of descriptions. So now let's go back again and give more value to these subclasses. So let's say we would like to have a different constructor at the init level. So here at the init level, we do have the self, the title, the author, description. But from thesis or essay perspective, we would like to see the genre and the style. So to do so, and to not repeat ourselves again and again, what we can do, so we need to redefine again the init function. Let's go to the init function. But you can see here, so we do have all this one, but automatically, the VS Code has added this super function and then init. And this means the super function will be going to the book. So it's kind of, we don't need to repeat ourselves and repeat the whole thing regarding the already updated data, but we add those ones. So what if we want to add further arguments here? For example, I'd like to add genre and also style, like this. And we need to put here, then here self, use the self dot genre here equal genre, and also self dot style equals style. Okay, so now let's try to run again the code. So we change the constructor and let's see what happened. Let's also comment this one and let's see what happened with this new code. So let's save, go back here, and we do have an error. And if we read the error here, so in the essay object declaration, they're saying missing two required positional argument, genre and style. So in the essay now, we got all the code to input these four first argument, but we still need to add, for example, for the genre, let's say science fiction, let's put sci-fi, just like this. And for the style, let's say the modern style. Okay, so if we save here and we run again, we should have no issue in the declaration. And this is what we need for this one. And same if we would like to change also one of the method that we do have here. So let's say for the str method, let's copy it. And we would like to add a little bit more details or change a little bit how this str is behaving. For example, we would like to put essay just to show that this is an essay, like this. And we add here essay for title and add here 2 dots title. So this will, and if we change both of them, so let's see it again and to see how this one has impacted and changed the essay here. So let's go here, rerun again, and we can see essay, A Tale of a View by someone. And however, the thesis didn't really change. This is because we didn't really overwritten what is coming from the book class. So let's go a little bit and change the thesis same in the same way as we have done for the essay. So what we need to do, we can just copy this one, or let's do it again. So it's just, we just go for init, and you will see that VS Code is automatically adding this. You will have the super function that will construct your object for same as the book, and you can add other argument. So for the thesis, for example, let's add the field and also university. Some people find that's important. So, and here we go, and we add self.field equal field, and the other one, self.university equal university. Okay, so we come here and we need to add the field and university. Let's say for the field it will be history, and the university will be, let's use MIT. Let's be fancy. Okay, and we can also change the str. We can add whatever we want as a method. So here, for example, for the str, and this is becoming a thesis, for example, we add here the thesis, and so this is a self title by, and we can add here at, because maybe it's important, at, and we add the university. So let's put it like this one, and plus self.university. Okay, so let's save it and run. So clean the console and run it again to see. So we do have an essay, A Tale of a Wheel by someone, and thesis, How to Count by Wheel at MIT. So you can see we can create two different subclasses, but we are getting a lot of code coming from the original one. That's very helpful, and that can be used in many ways when you do have a lot of good classes that have been created and you just want to pass it and to use this code in a more specific way. So you can add here other different methods that will help you to deal with that subject. So to make it more practical, in the next few episodes, we are going to use this inheritance to build a small web server application that will help us to make a research for a book title when we have a title for a book and we get all the titles that are related. So stay tuned for the next episode to get a more practical example. Thank you and catch up soon.